Hello everyone. For those of you that joined us or maybe briefly saw us online, 15-20 minutes ago, we were busy recording a Kundalini yoga session, and then we didn't realize that it went over an hour and we lost it, so we'll have to record.
We'll record it again, and we'll record it in a shorter time duration. I was a bit over enthusiastic making each exercise 3 minutes long, so there's 12 exercises in this.
So we'll record another one, but we wanted to come on and talk about what is the power of ritual. And to introduce this, I wanted to share when I met Gary. I mean, I was already doing my own rituals. And ritual, I think a lot of people have a negative connotation towards ritual, or a fantasy relationship towards ritual.
What do we define as ritual? What do you define as ritual?
Yeah, that's a good question. What do you define as ritual?
So what I think ritual is bringing a sacredness to an event, to a time, to a practice. You can make a cup of tea and drink a cup of tea, or you can have a ritual tea ceremony where you bring sacredness to the act of having that cup of tea. So I do think a lot of ritual is repeating a certain sequence of actions or practices or chants or prayers over again, and they get imbued with a sacredness, with an energy, and that's particular
with our intention.
Yeah, with our intention. So it's bringing intention, but I think particularly if you do a daily practice. So for me, my daily practice every day is to wake up at 4:30 and start chanting at about 4:45 or 5 a.m. I chant the Japji, which is the sacred text of the Sikhs, and that takes 20 minutes. Before I start the Japji, I usually do a ritual of invoking energy of light into me. It's called the Kabbalistic cross, where light comes down and light comes across, and there's a prayer that goes with that. And then I listen to another sacred song, and then I start my chanting. So that for me is a ritual that I do every morning.
Mm-hmm. And I've used ritual to invoke and create important things.
You were talking about before you met me.
Oh yes, well, the point that I want to make there is that when I met you, I had my rituals, but then Gary introduced me to other rituals, and one of the most important things where he said to me, "Hey, do you know that you can make magic with time, and you can what was it? You said you can sort of hop timelines, and you can create magic with time." And I feel, a lot of our work together since coming together has been about creating magic with time through ritual.
I think what Alex is trying to say there around time is that particularly if we realize that time is not linear,
right.
That time is cyclic. So we can make ritual by honoring the full moon every month and using that as an energy of completion, of marking what we have done and achieved in that last month. We could use the new moons as a moment where we do a ritual. So maybe, you go outside, you light a candle, you sit a moment, you meditate. That's a ritual where you then look at what seeds you're planting for the month to come, and what seeds got planted the month previous, at the previous new moon. So there we're cycling back. As the moon goes around the earth, it goes through each of the star signs and it repeats. So, it's not one linear time, it's a going back and coming back. And when we come back and remember the past, we are able to take the learnings of the past and we're able to alter the future. That for me is the power of ritualism. That's the power of magic that we bring into the awareness of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that, whether you believe it or not, through the practice of intentional ritual, which is really, it's an offering of your energy. So for me, the chanting, the exercise practices that we do, they are about offering our energy to creation. And when we do Kundalini Yoga, when we chant, we're moving energy. And when we're moving through our obstacles, through our blockages, by being present, by going through, by holding space for everything that arises, we are creating magic. And we have repeatedly, whenever we've wanted something big, that we didn't quite know how to achieve, because in a linear sense it didn't make sense that it could be done, we have used Kundalini Yoga Kriyas. Now this is just one of the ways. You can create your own ritual out of your own intention and creation, creativity. But whenever we've used Kundalini Yoga and we've done a practice for 40 days, or fasting for that matter, whenever we fasted for, typically we've done 40 days, but every now and again we've done shorter ones. And whenever we've done that, it's amazing. It's actually, in each time you think, can it really be? Did we last time, accomplish something so big? Did we really move such big energies, which then resulted in something? And each time it's miraculous, but each time the miracle, it happens.
Yeah, so every time we fasted, there's always been a shift in the physical reality. Because
Incredible
I think,
things.
It's really what is understood to be sympathetic magic. So as within, so without. So as we work on our own physical body and bring about really such profound fundamental changes, which is what fasting does. Because when we fast, we radically change the chemistry of the body. And when you change the chemistry of the body, you change the electricity of the body. When you change the electricity of the body, you change the vibration of the body. And when you change the vibration of the body, you change the vibrations in the world around you, and therefore you change your reality around you. So,
Absolutely.
It's a powerful practice, and when you imbue it with ritual, so in other words, when you bring intention and sacredness to that act, it becomes truly magical.
And what you're doing with these rituals and fasting is you are actually changing your karma, and you're alchemizing your karma, and you're bringing yourself to your dharma. And you don't even need to know exactly what that is. It's just because oftentimes, the mind can't comprehend. But as we bring our intention and we just commit to doing it, and inevitably also every single fast, every single 40-day practice, difficulties arise. The moment where we think, I can't do it anymore. There's gonna be those bottleneck moments where you think, I'm gonna abandon ship. But those are the moments, and they are only moments. Those are the moments where, by staying, by committing, by opening your heart deeper, by deepening your connection to yourself and your connection or your welcoming of your darkness and discomfort, those are the moments where you're changing your karma. And that's the power that every single one of us has.
So the power of ritual, what can you do in your life that ritualizes things? It doesn't have to be everything in your day, but choose an action, choose a moment where you connect in with yourself, you connect in with your center. Sometimes one simple example is even just a sort of a hand mudra. So for me, I have one where I just, like, there's times when I'm needing to feel centered, so I just close my eyes and just imagine I pull down the energy with my hand and I just move it around my being. So I have a certain sequence, which I won't go into right now, but you make up your own.
I make up my own all the time.
Yeah. So just do what you need to do, and that's becomes a ritual of magic, and that creates the magic. Anything else you wanted to share?
No, I just wanted to bring
the power of ritual.
The power of ritual, and that for me, what always, when I hear Gary talk, because obviously Gary, he reads the textbooks and, he studies the stuff. And I've always been, I'm a little bit more witchy and, in a sense, childlike, where I just work according to my imagination.
You're a chaos magician.
I'm a chaos magician, absolutely. I'm a total chaos magician. I don't read books. I just kind of I take my magic hat and I pull stuff out of there and I go, well, what's there? And it doesn't matter what your way is. That's the beauty, you may love to study, great, then study. You may have your own inner world to dip into, but know that we are, every single one of us, if you're human, if you're breathing, if you're here in this moment, you are a magician. And it's as easy as beginning to access it. And I just want to end off saying, when I started doing magic, I felt like, oh my God, I'm so silly, and what am I doing? And, if people would know what I'm doing, they would think that I'm crazy or stupid or, I had these thoughts. But eventually I was like, well, I have fun, I love it, let's see what happens. And I would say everything that matters in my life, I have created through magic and prayer. Magic and prayer and ritual. So that's our tidbit for the equinox. Thank you for joining. Many blessings
on the equinox, the day when we have equal night and day everywhere on the planet. So it's a time of balance and it's a time of energetic peace. And as we move into the new seasons, may we find new growth, may we find new understanding, and many blessings.
Bye, everyone.